Hey guys, and welcome to a story. So I know I already posted this chapter a while ago, but I lost my copy of it along with everything else that I deleted. So we're gonna read it again. And again, I probably won't go through the entire book, but I'm considering doing the first couple chapters of all the books just as previews. Let me know in the comments. And let's read Kakashi's Story by Akira Higashiyama. Characters by Masashi Kishimoto. Prologue. A New Order. 500 meters above the ground, with strong wind pushing up against him, Sai looked back over his shoulder. You sure you're going to be okay going alone, Naruto? Yeah. Naruto glared at the enemy territory far below him. No problem. But your hand still. I can take these guys out with one hand. The Chinese phoenix, created with the art of cartoon beast mimicry, slipped through the shadows of the night, invisible from the ground. However, Naruto's eyes could make out that ground quite clearly. It was past midnight, but the torches of the night watch had still burned brightly in the wild mountain valley where his targets hid away from him. Here and there, ninjas stood watch. Bathed in the cold light of the moon, the sharply rising stone wall and the needle-like ridgeline glistened as if wet. A stronghold with natural defenses. Sai voiced Naruto's own thoughts. So, Gario's been running around and hiding in places like this, huh? While he kills people in the land of waves. Naruto gritted his teeth. It was a September night, a year after the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War. The powerful wind howled as it ripped through the valley. Shifting positions, the giant bird carrying Sai and Naruto made a wide turn, and they caught the sight of Gario's base directly below. Don't think too hard about it, Naruto. It's not like the Fourth Great Ninja War was going to be the last war humanity fights. As much as I hate to admit it, we're still going to see people who sympathize with Madara's thinking, Sai told him, before Naruto jumped down from the large bird. Like Gario, you know? Listening to the sound of his own body tearing through the air, Naruto intertwined his index finger and middle fingers of his left hand to make a cross and drop down into the night sky. He had learned this new way of weaving signs after losing his right arm in a fight with Sasuke. Multiple shadow doppelgangers. Poof! White smoke surged up, and by the time the night watch noticed anything, Gario's hideout was already surrounded by shadow doppelgangers. Enemy attack! Angry voices sprang forth from the darkness here and there. Protect Gario! Enemy ninjas came flying out of the huts arrayed along stone walls and from caves all around. Naruto's doppelgangers launched kunai in all directions, and several members of the enemy group fell at once. Faced with slashing attacks from behind, Naruto turned into a cloud of smoke and disappeared. The base's central plaza was instantly transformed into a battlefield with ninjas exchanging angry roars. Naruto's vision swept both sides, searching for the cave that Kakashi had told him about. A cave with two pointed rocks like fangs hanging from the ceiling, the sole entrance to Gario's hideout, cut off from the outside world by the mountains. Or so Kakashi had said. So then, if he's thinking about escaping, he'll run through that cave. He could see it beyond the shadow doppelgangers performing their dance of death with the enemy. The cavern, the mouth of the rock beast with fangs bared, was guarded by ninja and a small man running inside. The hem of his long garment was dragging. Gario! Naruto's voice echoed off the stone walls. You're not going anywhere! Before the lingering echoes of Naruto's voice had dissipated, a single enemy ninja appeared to block his way. The ninja's costume was white like snow, and the ninja's face was hidden under a white mask in the shape of a hook. Get out of my way! Naruto didn't hesitate to launch several kunai. But the instant the tips of the knives touched the masked ninja, their target shimmered and disappeared like mist. What was worse, before Naruto knew it, that very ninja had taken up position behind him. Ice style! Change of earth and ice! He felt the jutsu hit his back lightly. He pitched forward the tiniest bit, but kept his balance. He braced himself and whirled around, kunai glittering as they sped towards the masked ninja. Or rather, he had fully intended to have them glitter in speed, but he couldn't throw them. What's this? The sensation reeling in his body was in the next instant transformed into intense pain. Snap! Crack! Countless thousand thorns sprang up from his veins and ripped through his body. Ugh! A puff of white breath slipped out of his mouth as he fell to his knees. However cool the mountains at night might have been, it was still only September. Yet Naruto's teeth were chattering, and his entire body was assaulted by a ferocious cold. The ice quickly spread out from where the masked ninja had hit his back to every part of his body. The frost crawling across him wrapped itself around his arms, legs, before creeping up towards his face. He tried to get his body to move somehow, but it only caused several thin pieces of ice to crackle as they peeled off and fell to the ground. The ice chains held Naruto firmly. Not even sparing a glance for the frozen Naruto, the masked ninja returned to Gario. "Lord Gario, please, this way." But Gario didn't move, and the three ninja protecting him collapsed noisily in a pile of arms and legs. Stood beneath the hook-patterned mask, the enemy's eyes scrutinized the scene. A hand gripping a kunai slowly appeared out from the darkness behind Gario. You know, Haku wore a mask like that too. Naruto plunged the kunai into the neck of his target. "And now this ice technique. You a rogue ninja from Kirigakure?" "So, that wasn't the real you." The masked ninja glanced back at the Naruto dispatched only seconds earlier. "I did think your response was not quite up to par for the Uzumaki Naruto, the man who defeated our Madara." The doppelganger imprisoned by ice disappeared with a pop. The ice that had bound it cracked and scattered all at once. Naruto and his opponent met each other's eyes. "I'll be taking Gario back." "Can't help you out there," the ninja said. Naruto glared at the masked ninja. "'Cause of you guys, hundreds of people in the Lands of Waves died. For an ideal. Madara's ideal? In the war that was already Uchiha Madara's failure," Gario interrupted Naruto, "was the fact that he attempted to cast infinite Tsukuyomi on the entire world." Naruto looked down at the small, dark man he had stabbed with a kunai. The unwavering ambition shrouding his entire body seemed completely unaffected by the point of the kunai being pressed into his neck. His long white hair was pulled back in a single bun, and a white beard grew from his chin. One of his long almond eyes were clouded white. But Madara's thinking was not, in and of itself, incorrect, Gario continued, the long hem of his garment fluttering in the wind. To rid the world of war and realize ultimate justice, there is only the infinite Tsukuyomi. It is true that Madara is dead, and the infinite Tsukuyomi was also consigned to eternal oblivion by Uchiha Sasuke. However, that said, his ideal must not die. We may be forced to other methods, but we will approach Madara's ideal step by step. I truly believe this. Just what do you plan to do? What is ultimate justice? Is it equality of all people? All unhappiness in this world arises from inequality. So then, what should we do to realize this equality? We must control the freedom of the individual, the freedom to earn money, the freedom to possess more than others, the freedom to have it easier than others. I fight to control freedoms like this. And if our experiments go well, other lands will endorse us and our ideals. All freedoms in this world will be controlled. This is the true meaning of Madara's ideal, a new world order. So you picked the Land of Waves for a place for your experiments? Naruto pushed his voice out from between clenched teeth. There's no hidden village in that land, you know, killing people who don't know the first thing about fighting. You're the ones who brought hatred and sadness into this country. It used to be a peaceful place. As long as there's inequality in this world, no country is without hatred and sadness. A sudden gust blew into the cave, and Naruto's empty right sleeve flapped. There is no hidden village in this country. Thus, many rogue ninja come to live here. The rogue ninja who come to the Land of Waves have grown tired of killing each other. They hide the fact that they are ninja, and they try to live as normal people. What they want is a modest, humane life. But they have learned nothing but how to kill each other from childhood. What else could they do? The people of the Land of Waves despise them and think that they can buy their dignity with money. They think that they need military power, but they simply can pay to hire someone like you. They think that everything can be resolved with money, that they never need to dirty their own hands. Money, money, money. Without money, they are not even treated like human beings. The one you fought just now is one such unfortunate. Naruto cast his eyes towards the masked ninja. This ninja's son was stung by a giant hornet and brought to a hospital, but there was no doctor there, nor at the next hospital, or the one after that. Not a doctor to be found in the land. When some shady witch doctor was finally tracked down, a man who could be hardly called a doctor, the boy was in shock and on the verge of death. Naturally, the spells and all the rest were of no use at all. If that poor lad had gotten treatment right away, perhaps they could have saved him. But every last doctor had disappeared in the land of waves. Why do you think that is? Gario caught himself before squeezing out in a suffering tone. Because they had all been bought by the 5 great countries to attend to the wounded ninja troops during the 4th Great Ninja War. Naruto's eyebrows leapt up. If the land of waves is at peace, then it is a peace built on the pile of banknotes seized by stomping on those impoverished people, Gario said. Can you really say that there is no hatred or sadness in this land? He had no reply. The masked ninja spoke instead. Quickly crouching down, Naruto's opponent hit the surface of the earth with a palm on one hand. Ice style! Chains of earth and ice! What? The shockwave rumbled in his stomach as it raced forward, splitting the ground. Countless icicles sprouted from below and spread out in the cave, piercing the ceiling but carefully avoiding where Naruto and Gario stood. In the blink of an eye, his escape route had been cut off. So long as there is a hint of moisture in the air, I can freeze anything with my earth chain ice. The ninja's voice was low and hoarse through the mask. And now, you have nowhere to go. Hand Gario over. Enemy ninjas steadily gathered around them. I feel sorry for your son. A moment of silence passed. But I just can't get on board with what you guys are doing, Naruto said. You kill people who won't give up their freedom, and that's supposed to make everyone left happy? All you're gonna do is breed new hatred. There is no revolution without pain, his enemy said from within the hooked mask. These are the birth pangs necessary to create new order. There has to be some other way! You don't actually intend to debate this here. Naruto didn't bother to answer. If you won't come with me, I'll make you. Sorry, but I'm not interested in fighting you, Naruto said. He wrapped an arm around Gario and kicked off the ground and flew upward. So you run! A heartbeat later, the masked ninja danced up into space, quickly moving deft fingers and tiny gestures. Ice sword! A sound like shattering glass echoed through the mountains. The water in the air condensed to become countless daggers of ice, all heading straight for Naruto. The tips glittered under the light of the moon, but Naruto was the one grinning. The ice swords were about to carve through him when a black whirlwind abruptly snatched Naruto and Gario away. Slicing through the empty air, the ice swords plunged into the stone wall. A bird's cry reverberated in the ravine. Landing, the masked ninja looked up with white-hot eyes as Gario was whisked away by the black bird. Nice timing! That went well, huh? On the back of the enormous phoenix, Naruto and Sai slapped the palms of their hands together. It's already been 6 years since then, huh? So that means I was still 12. That was our first job as Team 7. Kakashi was there, Sakura was there, even Sasuke was there. Only 6 years. Inari corrected Naruto. He was supposedly 14, but he had a much more adult air to him than Naruto. A leather tool bag hung from his hip, filled with hammers and saws and other implements. In just 6 years, the Land of Waves has completely changed. Naruto, you've noticed it, right? I mean, you... Are you talking about that right hand of mine? Inari looked away. In the fight with Sasuke, Naruto had lost his right arm from the elbow down. Thing like this, it's no big deal. Naruto opened his mouth wide and laughed heartedly. I got something way more precious than an arm. Is it always going to be like that? Right now, Auntie Tsunadi's making me a prosthetic. So don't worry, Inari. She is? What's more important is, how are things in the Land of Waves? That time. The time I first met you. Me and Grandpa and everyone. We all believed we'd be happy as long as we could build the Great Naruto Bridge, Inari said, flashing a sad smile. But thanks to the bridge, we got more traffic, sales got better, and more people got rich. So then everyone ended up totally focused on money. I mean, it's not unusual at all now to see guys who will do anything for money, like Gato. Before, when I saw you just a minute, that was when we went to repair the damage Pain did to Konoha. We didn't get a chance to really talk then, huh? So that's what the Land of Waves is like now. In the silence, Naruto looked at the grave markers from Momochi Zabuza and Haku nestled against each other. The rough markers, simply pieces of wood in the shape of a cross, did indeed have the days and nights of 6 years carved into them. Kakashi had thrust the executioner's blade into the ground next to Zabuza's grave, only for it to be carried away by Sasuke's comrade Suigetsu. The wind cut through the grassy field, causing indigenous cosmoflowers to shudder. Naruto stretched with a grunt. Reminds me, how's the old man Tanzuna? You doing okay? After hesitating slightly, Inari blurted out, he's been holed up in the shipbuilder's port, putting the finishing touches on Tobishachimasu. Is he making a new ship? Yeah, but this one flies. Huh? The Land of Waves right now is trying to build a new transport system. Once the Tobishachimasu is complete, the Land of Waves will become the #1 transport hub in the world. Using air routes, we'll be able to deliver in a few hours packages that right now take boats and people several days to transport. Inari's tone was, in contrast to the tale of economic prosperity he was telling, somehow cold with a hint of self-derision. It's actually still a secret. But I think it's okay for me to tell you, Naruto. Once the first ship is complete, there's going to be an unveiling and a sightseeing trip with all the most important people in the Land of Waves invited, to show everyone the marvel that is the ship and get more money, you know? And once they collect more money, they're going to just keep building new ships and then sell them out to 5 major nations. And this is still a secret too, but my grandpa and them said Konoha was asked to do security during the sightseeing flight. I know some shinobi that can fly, but can they really make a boat that flies? Well, while the 5 great nations are spending all their time in war, the Land of Waves continue to develop new technologies. Is the ship big? I think the one Grandpa and them are building now can hold about 50 or 60 people. If they just had the money, they can make something bigger. So, how are they going to make a big boat like that fly? You can think of it like a big balloon, Inari said. They fill the balloon with gas that's lighter than air, and then below that is this iron basket that holds people and things. It's called a gondola. It's attached to the underside of the balloon. In the tail of the boat, there are 6 propellers used to push the ship through the air. What popped into Naruto's head was the image of a bamboo basket with many tiny balloons attached to it. He got to it floating in the air without any issues, but then a large flock of crows came flying out of nowhere and popped the balloons in many loud bangs. And then people tumbled out of the bamboo baskets and fell straight down into hell. No way I'm stepping in anything like that. A shudder ran through his entire body, inviting all the bigwigs. You sure that's really safe? They've done a million test flights. So, you're not into it, Inari? Huh? It's written all over your face. Naruto shrugged. That the truth is you could live without the boat that flies. Yeah. Inari's eyes dropped. It's true that there'll be lots of money coming into the Land of Waves once they've finished it. And you're not so keen on that? It's fine. Naruto raised a skeptical eyebrow. But I think a lot of people will show up and work on it. Inari raised his head and looked directly at Naruto. Right from the start, our Land of Waves has made its living being transport. The people who have carried burden of those commodities on their shoulders, the people who carried them in ships, they'll probably be all out of work. And then what happens? Everyone starts to hate it. Then they start to hate us, the carpenters who built it. Money, money, money. Guardio's voice sprang to life in Naruto's ears. If the Land of Waves is at peace, then it is a piece built on the pile of banknotes seized by stomping on those impoverished people. Seeing Naruto's serious face, Inari changed the subject. By the way, thanks for catching Gario. His gang was against building the ship right from the start. They attacked the carpenters I don't know how many times. They even killed some of them. So, Gario was sent to Hozuki Castle? Yeah, probably. Hozuki Castle was a containment facility for prisoners built in Kusagagare and paid for by the 5 principal territories. Naturally, all 5 managed it. Several years earlier, Naruto had been charged with a certain mission and infiltrated Hozuki. In the events of that time, the castle had been completely destroyed, and he knew that it was Inari and the carpenters from the Land of Waves who had repaired it. Speaking of that, you got tossed into Hozuki Castle once, right, Naruto? Peek into the ladies' bath, huh? I'm telling you, it was my mission! Inari took one look at Naruto in his bulging eyes and laughed. His laughter was infectious, and Naruto joined in. Well, anyway, the world just keeps changing, you know? He kept talking, grinning. Money's just like kunai or ninjutsu. It's good or bad depending on how you use it, maybe. Inari nodded. You use that money in the right way and you'll probably help a ton of people, Naruto said. I don't really know, but I figure that's maybe the best way to fight back against guys like Gario.